Welcome to Scoot on the Air YouTube. I'm Scoot. I'm going to talk about something tonight that is just so obvious to all of us, but it's worth talking about because another step has been taken toward political correctness going wild. Political correctness has gone wild, and another step has been taken to attack another word as being politically incorrect. Now, I feel like I'm the kind of person who's rather sensitive to being politically correct. Now, look, I'm not going to go out of my way to offend somebody, but sometimes political correctness just has gone way too far, all in the name of just trying to make us all just a world where nobody's ever offended. But anyway, you're going to be interested to hear about this word. First of all, I want to go back to something that I talked about on my radio show on WWL in New Orleans not long ago. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, came out with a new campaign, and they called it Speciesism. Speciesism. It refers to using the names of animals to describe people in a negative way. And I promise you, what PETA says is this: it's degrading and hurtful to the animals. I mean, this is ridiculous, but it's true. For example, a guy that chases women, a guy that cheats on his wife or girlfriend, what do you call that person? A dog. Not anymore. See, that's harmful to the dog to refer to that person as a dog. Also, a guy that chases women. Another name for him is a wolf. Can't use that. What about a really ambulance chasing attorney? Oh, that guy's a shark. Degrading to the shark. PETA doesn't want you to use that anymore. Somebody who is not very courageous. He's a chicken. Can't use it. You don't want to be part of the speciesism movement in America that is honoring these things. What about a woman who's a little older? I mean, can we no longer call her a cougar? What about a female who's really hot? Can she be a fox? What about somebody who is really shrewd with making deals? Can that person be a weasel? Can it be raining cats and dogs? So look, most reasonable people will agree that there are some words that are politically incorrect, and at one point they were tolerated, but they're no longer tolerated. I wrote a blog about this, and it's posted on the WWL Radio Facebook page. I'm sorry, the WWL Radio website. Yeah, so go to WWL.com, and if you don't see it on the front page, just click on shows in the upper left-hand corner, then click on Scoot and go to the Scoot page, and that, along with all of the other blogs that I write on a regular basis, will be posted there. But I wrote a blog about this. It's titled "A Word is Under Attack." A new word is under attack by the PC police. So we're going to get to that in just a moment. But what's crazy about this is, we can all agree that, look, the N-word, certain words used to describe the LGBTQ community, some religious words some words to describe some religions or people from other countries. I mean, I get it. Those are politically incorrect and justifiably so. We don't need to be using those words. However, when it comes to like PETA and when it comes to some of these other cases of political correctness, it's political correctness gone freaking wild. The Associated Press Style Book, which sets the standards for words and phrases that are used in the world of media, they have now declared the word mistress to be sexist. Mistress. Somebody who is having a sexual relationship with a married person. Here was the tweet that the Associated Press style book tweeted out. Don't use the term mistress for a woman who is in a long-term relationship with and is financially supported by a man who is married to another person. Instead, use an alternative like companion, friend, or lover on the first reference and provide additional details later. Associated Press went on to declare the word mistress archaic and sexist. Now, I try to be sensitive to. I mean, I'm trying to be a modern day Renaissance man. I mean, I'm not trying. I mean, it's who I am, and I'm not afraid to express that here on social media or on my radio show. But I never thought of the word mistress as being derogatory in any way. Now, I did get some comments on my email. My email address is scoot@wwl.com. And I did, during my show today, when I was talking about this on WWL, I did get some comments afterwards from people who said, well, what makes it sexist is there's no counter word for a man who does the same thing. And that's true, right? I mean, we've got mistress, but what about a guy? What about the name for the man who is having an affair with a married woman? Whether he's married or not, he might be single, having an affair with a married woman. Why is there no name for the man? So there should be a name for a man. However, I still don't think that mistress is sexist or degrading. And I think the other aspect of this is, instead of worrying about improving the noble status of the person who is having an affair with a guy who's married, because that's what we're talking about here. Let's take this person. She's a mistress. She's having a sexual relationship with a married person. That's not right. So let's call her companion. Let's call her friend. Let's call her lover. Let's elevate her status to a more noble level in our society, because we don't want to degrade her and call her our mistress. Instead of worrying about what we call her, why don't we spend a little more time talking and thinking about the fact that here is somebody who is doing something that is not right. I mean, that's not the right thing to do. If there's a married couple and if the woman really doesn't care if the guy's out screwing around, well, then she's not doing anything wrong. The mistress is not doing anything wrong. But I just have a problem with things getting a little too politically correct, and I think criticizing the word mistress was a little crazy. Again, I think let's talk about the person who is having an affair with a married man. Are we going to elevate the status of the homewrecker? Well, I guess I'm not supposed to say homewrecker because that would be politically incorrect. Anyway, I love talking about this, and I know this will come up again, and we'll talk about it here, Scoot on the Air, YouTube, and I'll talk about it on Instagram and Facebook, and my radio show on WWL in New Orleans. And if you don't have the app, download the app Odyssey, AUDACY. Download the app Odyssey. Type in WWL, and you've got my show wherever you've got your phone, which we know is everywhere. And I'm on 1 to 4. Central Time, Monday through Friday. All right. Have a good evening, all you mistresses and all you home wreckers out there. I know I'm not always PC, am I?